Bulk emails, mass mailings, mail merge. Do these terms sound familiar? Whether they do or not, I'm certain we have all experienced the results. Typical examples: personalized billings, bills from mobile company, utility companies. We've all received personalized brochures, advertisements, products information, invitations list, events planning, announcements, celebrations, invites, and so on and so forth. In this tutorial, we will go over everything you need to know to merge a recipients list that you maintain in Excel with a Word form document and produce mass emails to Outlook, print personalized letters, labels, and envelopes. Having said that, let's dive into this tutorial. Hi, welcome back. Let's go over our agenda items for this tutorial. We're going to go over what mail merge is, what are the required components, the source list, which will be the file we maintain in Excel, the form documents that we're going to produce in Microsoft Word, and then how we're going to merge the results into Outlook to send out multiple emails, or to a printer to print labels, to print letters and envelopes. Mail merge is a Microsoft Word feature that allows you to create personalized documents to a list of recipients, in this case in Excel file. So we're going to explore how easy it is to perform the mail merge process, whether you're printing or sending to email. Let's go over the source file. The first component of the mail merge is a recipients list with relevant information that has been created and maintained in Excel. It could be a list that you are manually maintaining, or it could be an extract from another application, such as donors contact database, or customers list from a sales application, or vendor list from accounts payable system, etc. For our example, we have a donors list who have contributed previously to our nonprofit XYZ company, and we would like to send soliciting donation emails to all as part of this year fundraising exercise. First thing we need to do is ensure that the list in Excel is in proper format. Our file requires a little housekeeping. Let's remove any blank columns or rows that exist. Make sure that all columns have a header that clearly identifies the content of that column. Remember that these headers will be used by the mail merge process in Word. Remove any duplicate records or incomplete records. Check for any other issues, and then we move on to Word. Let's start Word. Create a new blank document. At the Home tab, click on Mailings. At the ribbon for Mailings, click on Start Mail Merge and select Email Messages. Next, we're going to select the recipients list. At the Home tab, click Select Recipients. Select Use an Existing List. Let's go and locate a donors file. It's an Excel file. Make sure you select and confirm that this is Sheet 1 and the first row contains headers. Let's switch to the Excel file and confirm that. As you can see, we have Sheet 1 and the first rows contain the headers. Ensure that everything is fine. Click OK. So now we have established a connection to the Excel file, and we're going to start creating a bulk email message, and we're going to start creating and adding placeholders. I have copied the letter previously to the donors list. As you can see, there are certain areas that will vary. such as the greetings with dear something. Then we have you've been a member since, we have that date, and then last year's donation. First, let's create an address block on top of the letter, which will include the name of the person, the full name of the person. So to do that, we go to Insert Merge field. So we start with a salutation, leave a space, then insert first name, add a space, and then insert merge field and select the last name. Now, let's hit enter and go to the next line below. Let's insert the address. Hit enter, go to the next line. So now we need to put the city, state, and zip. Another way to do that is add all these three fields at once. So select city, enter, select state, click insert, select zip code, click insert. Let's add a comma and a space between city and state, which is traditional. Let's add a space after state and between state and zip code. So these are the placeholders that make up the address block. Now let's go work on the greeting. So basically we want to say, dear Mr. So-and-so. So we start with the salutation. Then we insert the first name. And then we click on Insert Merge field and we insert the last name. So here's your greeting line. Hit enter. Let's go and update the document a little bit. And then we need to put a placeholder at you have been a valuable member of our community since, and the field is member since. The last placeholder we need to enter is the last year's amount contributed. So we include last amount. Then at the bottom, we put the signature line. Save the document so you can reuse it. And there you have it. Now let's do a preview. Click on Preview Records. Keep circling on the records and you can see that all the placeholders, they have the information from the Excel file. So let's finalize the merge. So we click on Finish, select Email. Now over here, the to email is the field that we have in our database, in our Excel file. Subject line, anything that's relevant to the email you're sending out. In our case, in our examples, donation request. Send records, we'll select all, or you can do the current record, or you can select a range of records to email. Let's switch to Outlook Outbox, and you can see all the emails hitting the outbox in Outlook. And here is a preview. Here is a sample of the email that was sent out. And there you have it. So we merge an Excel file to a Word document, and we produce the result in Outlook by creating the emails. In this section, we're going to create personalized printed letters to all the donors. Let's open Word. And I have a previous copy saved of the letter that we're going to work with. As you can see, we will need to put placeholders for the donor name, add the date of membership, and how much the last donation amount was. So let's click on Mailings, and let's go find the recipients list. So the options here, you can type a new list. This area, if you have a case for like 10 addresses, you can just enter them manually. But in our case, we're gonna open the donor's file that we maintain in Excel. So let's go find our file, donors mailing list, open. Now make sure that the data is on sheet 1 and we have first row checked. The first row contains a column headers. Click OK. As you can see, the ribbon opened up with additional choices. Let's go to Edit Recipients List. Over here, you see the data that was brought in from the Excel file. You have the option here to check and check any addresses that you don't want to send the letters. You also have the ability to sort the data in a different format. So if you click on sort, let's say by last name, click OK. Now, be mindful that whatever you're going to print is going to be printed in this order. Another great feature is the filter option that will enable you to filter your data based on specific criteria. For example, we can filter the printed letters to only those whose city is equal to, let's say, New York. So in this case, we only have 4 records. So when you finalize the merge, it will only print 4 letters. Let's clear the filter option. So we get all the data. Click OK. Let's start creating the placeholders. So we will need to put the address of the donor. And then we're going to set up the greeting for the donor. Now, you have the ability to create the address blocks manually, like we did in the previous example when we set up the email. But this time, we're going to use the address block. If you click on address block, you see how Word is mapping the data. That looks good. Let's browse through the records and click OK. See, the placeholder that Word added is called address block. So let's delete the previous line. Now let's work on the greeting line. Similar to the address block, the greeting line is set up by Word. It looks okay. The only thing is we don't have the salutation like Mr., Mrs., and so on and so forth. And actually, I would like to have it, Dear Mrs. last name. In order to do that, let's check the match fields. This is the area where Word matches predefined fields to your data. So let's check how we can match the salutation to each field. We have a courtesy title. So let's match that to salutation and click OK. Now, if you preview the results, let's cycle through the records to just check the outcome of the greeting line and the address block that Word put as a placeholder. So that looks good. Let's go complete the document. We need to add the date. So this is member since. So we're going to insert merge field, click on member since. Let's move this below. And then the last field we need to add is the last amount donated. Click on insert merge field and select last amount donated. Let's preview the records, cycle through them. And the data looks correct. Great. So now let's finalize the merge. We click on Finish and Merge and we select Print Documents. What this will do will direct the result of the merge to your printer. Edit individual documents will create one new Word file that has all the letters personalized. That's if you wanted to do some special editing. But we're going to select print all the records. So let's select, for this example, let's select print to PDF and click OK. Let's take a look at the PDF file. And there you have it. In this section, we're going to print labels for our donors list. Let's open Word, start with a blank document, and let's go and open our donors list Excel file. Let's start Mail Merge. Select Labels. We have been presented with a label wizard. Every type of label has a manufacturer, has a code number. I usually use, for the laser printer or DeskJet, I use the Avery 5160, which is 30 labels per page, 3 labels across. So you can scroll up and down because you may have different labels, different manufacturer. Let's find the 5160 address label. You see it's 1 inch across. The height of the label is 1 inch by 2.63. If you look at the details, you're going to see how the labels are structured on the page, and you have 30 labels total. We have been presented with a blank page, and you see the layout of each label. Now we need to start putting the placeholders from the Excel file. Let's click at Insert Merge Field. These are the fields that came from the Excel file. Let's click Salutation, because I want the first line to be Mr. So-and-so. Mr. First name, last name. Let's put a space after salutation. Let's insert merge field, select first name, leave a space. Let's go back and select the last name. hit enter. Let's add the address line, hit enter, insert the city, put a comma and a space after the placeholder, insert state, leave a space after, and then insert the zip code. We may select all of them and let's change the font size. Right now it's at 11, let's make it 10. So now the placeholders also fit in the label. Let's select the first line. I would like to make that bold. Let's preview the record. So we have a label. First line is bold, the rest is usual. Now you see the other labels that don't have the information, so all we have to do is click on Update Labels, and the rest of the page gets populated with all the placeholders. Let's preview the results. So now we see all labels as per number of records in the Excel file. Let's finalize the merge. We're going to do print documents. At this point, you can print all labels or specific labels. I'm going to print them to the PDF for now. And here's the PDF file with all the labels. You can save the file for future use. And that completes this section. In this section, we're going to create and print envelopes for our donors list. Click on Mailings, select Recipients, use an existing list. Let's go locate the Excel file containing the donors. Ensure that first row contains the columns is selected. Insert merge field. Yes, everything is there. Now let's start the mail merge. Select envelopes. We have been presented with a wizard for the envelope. You can select from many sizes of envelopes. I usually print on size 10, which is the typical business letter. As you can see, the many envelope sizes. Another popular one is the Monarch. Then you have the delivery address font and the return address font. You can select different fonts, different sizes for each type of address. At the printing options, you see the different types of ways to fit the envelope and which tray the envelopes will come out from. So this is according to what type of printer you're using. So this is the layout of the envelope that we selected. So I'm going to type the return address. In case you're using envelopes that have already logos or pre-printed letterheads, you can just omit that. Let's open the address block to work on our delivery address. The address block, it's a feature from Word that matches our information and it creates the delivery address for us. Let's review the records. It looks pretty good. The only thing I might want to change would be to include the salutation, Mr. Mrs. Dale Chow, for example. In order to do that, we have to check where Word is mapping or matching the salutation field. We're going to go over the match fields to do that. At the match field area, you can see how Word is mapping our Excel fields into the fields that Word is using. Scrolling down, we're looking at courtesy title, Let's map that to salutation and click OK. So now our delivery address will be Mr. Mrs. first name, last name. Click OK. Now, in the middle of the envelope, we're going to see a frame around it. That's where we're going to put the address black, because this is, by default, the design placeholder area created by Word for this type of envelope we selected. So let's click on the address black. This is what we set up before. Click OK. And now the address black is put in the delivery address frame. Let's preview the records. Let's cycle through the records. Everything looks fine. The text frame, where the delivery address is enter, can be resized, moved around, and try to match it accordingly to the envelope we're using and where we want the information printed. So let's finish our merge. We're going to print documents. We're going to print all the records. I'm going to select print to a PDF file because I don't want to print to my printer. And there you have it. Let's save this file so we can have it for further use. And this section is completed. In this tutorial, we covered how we can merge a list in Excel with Word and produce personalized mass emails, letters, labels, and envelopes. The process is identical for all these cases, with small differences on the design and delivery. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.